to go on their own to understand the world. So I am actually making a comparison between the print and the screen, and I'm making a comparison between script writers who do not use scientific principles, who do not research on the principles of science when they write their movie scripts. We had Jin Samsudin acting as the Malaysian James Bond, and the title of the movie was Jeffrey Z. Yeah, it's a copy of James Bond. But all the James Bond movies, with all the gadgets, from the very beginning until now, have become real. Not one of the imaginary gadgets remain in the world of imagination. When we were in the University of Malaya, when television first came, we had Get Smart. And all the university students were laughing because Get Smart was using his shoe, speaking on the phone like our handphone today. It was not thinkable that you can just speak on like our mobile now, because it has to be the line. The telephone must be on the wall, and there must be a line. There is a line between imagination and leading edge research. Because those who are on the frontiers of research, they see the world in ways that the ordinary mortals do not see. They see the world in telescopic terms. They see the world in geoscopic terms. They see the world in microscopic terms, which the ordinary educated person does not see. Researchers, therefore, are civilization builders, like librarians who have more or less the whole repertoire of human knowledge in their libraries, especially the great libraries of the world, the Library of Congress, the British Library, the Library of Ivy League universities. In fact, some of the libraries of Ivy League universities are bigger than all the libraries of the 72 universities in Malaysia, and all the state libraries in Malaysia, and all the other libraries of ministries. Just one university can have holdings of the repertoire of human knowledge than all the libraries in existence in Malaysia. Therefore, librarians, or those involved in the recording, compiling of knowledge, like Mortimer Adler. Mortimer Adler just passed away a few years ago. He was 93. He was the editor of Encyclopedia Britannica. He was the person who wrote about 6 great ideas, 100 great ideas in Western civilization, etc. Because almost daily, he was reading and editing the articles written by the top scholars and researchers in the field. Ladies and gentlemen, just now we were talking about the print and the screen. Now I'm talking about the intersect between the researcher and the writer and the scholar. You cannot be a good researcher if what you research on is not shared, it's not disseminated. I remember when people attend the American Educational research association conferences, there are about between 12,000 to 15,000 people turning up for the conference. And they will be in the hotels around, let's say, our Golden Triangle, where Concord Hotel is, where Equatorial and the other hotels are. So all the hotels will be filled up with all the seminar rooms designated for different kinds of papers. And the papers presented at any one of the ERA conferences would be like a telephone directory, because there are so many researchers right across the age groups, from doctoral students to the very renowned professors. So in some rooms, you'll find just a presenter and a chairperson, and maybe one or two others. But in some other rooms, you find everybody on the floor and peeping in through the doors because the presenters would be very renowned researchers. So on this occasion, they were asking some of the leaders in thinking, in multiple intelligences, regarding Daniel Coleman. And so those researchers who were on the front row, jokingly, in Western wit and humor, they asked, who? Daniel who? Daniel Coleman. Daniel Coleman is a person who has captured the world by sharing, by disseminating the idea of multiple intelligence, the idea of emotional intelligence. But Daniel Coleman did not conduct research. Just like Friedman, the world is flat. He did not conduct research. He's a journalist. So there is a group of people who may themselves not be researchers, but who are the interpreters and translators of great research works. And they share such works with other people, including script writers. So in a society which understands that the research enterprise is not fragmented, the research enterprise is actually intertwined in so many subtle ways with all other human activities. Script writing, theater, the publishing world, etc., etc. So once we continue to look at research in isolated terms, then we will always fail, because we do not understand the nature of the interlinkage between research and all other human activities. And I have not touched on another part of research, which is whether we are talking about applied research or basic research. I have a friend in the place I work now who calls himself a scientist. And we have a great exchange when he says, I am a scientist and I am objective. I am Vulcan, Star Trek's Vulcan. I'm objective, I'm detached. And I would argue with him and say, I don't call myself a scientist, but I say, I am a learner of what's happening in society. But my understanding of the social sciences is that it is not any less rigorous than the natural sciences. It's different, it's not rigorous. My Vulcan friend, who says he's very objective, in many, many respects in our discourse, we know that the lines between physics and chemistry and biology, they cross over into the other side.